ceasefire has been announced as far as this war is concerned on day 40 of the West Asia war. The pictures that we are now going to show you, in fact, tell you two very different realities. In Tehran, crowds gathered after the truce announcement with pro-government demonstrators seen celebrating and, in fact, projecting the pause as a strategic victory for Iran. But in the United States of America, there were protests and there was political backlash that, in fact, was seen. Celebrations in Tehran, protests in the United States of America, a ceasefire on paper, but a battle of perception on the ground. Is Trump losing face is the question that's being asked. What did the United States really achieve from this war? Even as Trump has been claiming, White House has been claiming our objectives have been achieved, what exactly has Trump achieved with this war is the question that many are asking today. And we have some breaking inputs coming in at this point in time. In fact, now it seems there's trouble brewing for US President Donald Trump, and Democrats, in fact, have reacted. Over 85 lawmakers are demanding Trump's removal. Let's go across to my colleague Srinjoy Chaudhary joining us live right now for more on this. Srinjoy, good morning. Over 85 House Democrats have called for President Trump to be impeached or removed via the 25th Amendment. Now, this is very, very significant because on one hand, you've got Trump as well as the White House suggesting that this is a victory for America. But there, back home, it is a call for his removal, and impeachment against him is what is getting louder.
Yes, there are many people in America who are very unhappy with the president because they believe that the president did not achieve anything by this war, and this was just a waste of time, these 39 days. Now, these people want president, and their representatives want the president impeached. Now, the impeachment procedure is not that easy. To impeach a president, you need 67 senators in a House of 100 supporting the impeachment procedure. Now, at this point, the Democrats don't have 67. They are in a minority at this point. Even after the midterm elections, if they get to perhaps over 50, the chances of their getting to 67 are very, very dim. It's almost unlikely that there is any chance of the Democrats getting 67 seats in the Senate. Then is the question of Republicans supporting the Democrats in the effort to impeach President Trump. Now, would you expect about a dozen Republicans, perhaps a dozen, to support this impeachment procedure? Hard to say. It would be very unusual, given the circumstances in America, how us and them America has become, for a dozen Republicans to actually join a majority of Democrats after the midterm election.
Right.
The House of Representatives is easier, much easier, but 67 people supporting an impeachment in the Senate is rather difficult.
Okay.
If that happens, maybe. But at this point, in any case, it's not possible. We'll have to see after November.
Absolutely. Stay on with us, Srinjoy. In fact, we're getting some more breaking inputs as well at this point in time. Trump, the US president, has called truce a big victory. He has projected ceasefire as an American victory. He has claimed that Iran wanted the deal. Iran actually wanted this particular deal. And this is the post, in fact, that has been put out by US President Donald Trump, which we can show you right now. A big day for world peace. Iran wants it to happen. They've had enough. Likewise, so has everyone else. The United States of America will be helping with the traffic buildup in the Strait of Hormuz. There will be lots of positive action. Big money will be made. Iran can start the reconstruction process. We will be loading up with supplies of all kinds and just hanging around in order to make sure that everything goes well. I feel confident that it will. He says, just like we are experiencing in the US, this could be the golden age of the Middle East. Let me go back to my colleague Shinjoy, who continues to be with us at this point in time. Shinjoy, it's rather bizarre if you study the tweets, the posts that Donald Trump puts out regularly. Just a couple of days ago, he was talking about sending Iran back to the Stone Ages. And now he's talking about a possibility of golden age for the Middle East. I mean, what is really happening? Things change within hours in his mind, and he's, keeping everybody confused all the time.
Well, between bombing Iran to the Stone Age and taking Iran to the Golden Age, between these two ages, there is actually a tacit acknowledgement of the fact that the Strait of Hormuz became a weapon. And if the Strait of Hormuz became a weapon, it is something that the Americans should have realized. They should have war-gamed it. Because they, when they started operations, probably did not imagine that the Strait of Hormuz would become such an effective weapon. The fact that it did is something that when President Trump says what he does, this golden age and this and that, is actually acknowledgement of the fact that so many tankers go through that Strait of Hormuz, about 125 ships a day or more. Then if you make $2 million off them every day, that's $250 million every day. That's serious money. Then multiply by 365, you arrive at billions and billions of dollars. Now that's the calculation he is making. But how does America benefit or lose from this? Because he said that very little of America's oil comes through the Strait of Hormuz. And he pointed to the West, his allies in Europe, saying that this is your problem, because no oil comes through the Strait of Hormuz and gets to America. It's a problem that Western Europe, or much of Europe, has to deal with. So as a result, it's not clear where this bonanza is coming from and how America is going to benefit from it.
Absolutely. And also, Shinjoy, if you could bring our viewers up to speed with the, toll, or rather the fee that's going to be charged on ships that, cross the Strait of Hormuz. I mean, what is the final update on that?
This is what Iran wants. And at this point, if President Trump has come up with a tweet like this, is it acceptance? Is it implicit acceptance of the fact that this tweet, this fee is going to be charged by the Iranians? The Iranians want to charge every ship going through the Strait $2 million. Now, 1 million, a certain part of that will go to Oman. The remaining bit will be used for reconstruction work.
Right, because that's exactly what he has mentioned in this post also. Big money will be made. Thank you, Shinjoy, for the moment, for joining us with your inputs on this story. Let's also tell you, viewers, a little bit about how there were warnings earlier, warning after warning, and what eventually led